Hey everybody, what is it? It is 10 o'clock on Thursday, holy cow, 16th, September 16th. Welcome, it is Robert. I am here live and in person with you. And today we're going to be talking about SmartPlan Foundations. If I can get this camera to cooperate with me and make me look a little bit less washed out. I think that might be a little bit better. There we go. All right. So thank you for joining me here. We've got one or two people here in the Facebook Live, and I'm going to go ahead and jump over and also look at the YouTube Live to see if we have anybody that wants to say hello. I'm going to go ahead and pop in a hello here. Hello. And again, if you want to pop in and say hi, please feel free to put something in the chat there, and I'm glad to get you guys going. We are talking about SmartPlan, specifically SmartPlan Foundations today. So what does that mean? Well, if you're not familiar with smart plans at all, I think that you're going to find this particular session very interesting, because although I will not be going into the depth of smart plans, like how to create the little nuances and all that, we are going to talk about what they are, some of the things that we need to have in kind of prerequisites to get them dialed in and use them. And then also we're going to be talking about how to effectively run them and what you can expect to get from them. So if you have any questions, if you're concerned at all about what smart plans are, feel free to pop something in the chat and we will get you guys squared away. So let's start off with, I'm going to share my screen here and hopefully this will share the correct one. And we're going to do it. Go for it there, and kind of close. Where is it? Be free. That's the one I want right there. All right. So we're going to take this little guy and we're going to go right over to command. And there it is, right? Yeah, okay. So here we are in command. And so let's kind of give you the one sheeter on what a smart plan is. It's a touch campaign system. A touch campaign system. So what it is it allows you to reach out and engage your contacts within your database in multiple ways, via text message, if you'd like, via phone calls, reaching out. And of course, you have to place the phone call. The system doesn't make the phone call for you. It also allows you to schedule tasks for you, not for your contact, but for you to follow up on certain things and to make sure that you're engaging with them. It also allows you to send out automated emails in a campaign format. So I want to talk about what it actually does and the difference between what a smart plan is and does and a standard campaign inside of command. And what it really simply comes down to, and I'm going to go ahead and switch over here to the smart plan window for a second for you and show you this little guy. I'll make it a little bit bigger on your screen so you can see a little bit more of it. There we go. What it really comes down to is a smart plan. I'm going to click create up here in the right hand corner just so I can show you the creation page here. And it doesn't matter what I call this because I'm going to throw this away. A smart plan is a multi-stage communication. Now, it's designed to be multi-stage. It's designed for you to be able to reach out via phone call, send out an SMS message, send out an email message, and then repeat that or change it up or do multiple things. It is not a single touch campaign. However, you can create a smart plan with only one step in it, and that step might be an email. So in a way, it can mimic a campaign, and you just heard it right there. A campaign is a single touch event. I'm going to create an email campaign that goes out and sends out this email to my contact base one time. That's what campaigns are, is a single touch event that goes out one time. Now, we can have multiple campaigns. There's social media campaigns, there's Facebook ad campaigns, there's email campaigns. We can do different things. There's direct mail campaigns, but those campaigns are single event driven. Whereas the smart plan, once again, is where we can set up multiple events, multiple touch events, and have them automate. Okay, so that explanation right there hopefully will give you just the basics of understanding the difference between saying you're going to create an email campaign or you're going to create a smart plan. So here is our smart plan building page, and smart plans consist of these actions. So the actions can consist of creating a task for you that shows up in your task list of things to do. You can set up a make a call task, which, by the way, these are both tasks, but they're just different. They're designated differently so that you know one is a task to perform an action and one is a task to make a phone call. The next thing we can do is we can send an email. Now we can use the designs in command as the designs for the email in this smart plan. Or we can use designs that were created externally and we just import the designs. Totally fine. We can also use an SMS message or text message and send a text message as part of this smart plan. Now, I'm going to go over in a few minutes the requirements for all of this to work, but I'm just going to remind you here that text messages require a third-party tool called Twilio. Twilio is the service that we use in Keller Williams to send out these text messages. So you're essentially signing up for a service, and when you say, I want to send out a bunch of text messages, they're sent out through Twilio. That avoids the whole spamming thing and getting kind of caught up in that. So the SMS messages, we'll go over those requirements in a minute. Now, down below the actions, there's three more things here. There is setting delays between actions. So if I want to say, send out a task, wait 3 days, send out an email, I can do that. I can also say that when I've completed stages of a particular smart plan, I can add them to another smart plan that is different, that goes on to a different level. And this is great for nurturing and for follow-up. So maybe your initial smart plan says, hey, I'm reaching out via email to say hi and introduce myself, blah, 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 blah. And then, you go through all the different areas of the smart plan. And then you say, you know what, now I want them to be on a nurture smart plan where I'm just letting them know about houses that are available in the neighborhoods that they've shown interest in. Perfect. We move them on to another smart plan after one has run its course. Another option that we can do is restart a smart plan. Restarting a smart plan very simply sends it right back to the top and repeats it. Keep that in mind, that when you repeat a smart plan, you're repeating what's in the smart plan. So if your smart plan is only a few days in total duration, then repeating it is going to get a little bit tiresome. So repeating smart plans is good for smart plans that are larger, more long-term nurture smart plans. And we'll talk about that. But now that we understand that a smart plan is potentially a multi-touch campaign where we can do different types of touches, let's talk about some of the requirements that we need to have in order before we actually begin this process. And to do that, I'm going to head on over and start talking about some of the things that we have to make sure are functioning. And one of those, the primary one, is going to be making sure that your command email is set up correctly so that the smart plan can use the connection to commands email as the source of the emails that are going out. So we have to set it up. So I'm going to go over here to my profile icon in the top right-hand corner. We're going to go down to settings. And in the settings area, these are all what we call the integrations. The integrations are the different programs, the different tools, plugins, add-ons, whatever you want to call them, that are going to assist in many areas of the program. For example, just as we look at the top of the list here, we see Docusign. Docusign is obviously another program. It's a third-party program, and we use Docusign to sign our documents, to do electronic signatures. So if that's the case, we need to integrate that into the system. So on this More Integrations page, there's a lot. We can see a whole bunch of a lot of things down through here. But down towards the bottom of this integrations page, we have email services. And the email service that the smart plans use is your command email. So your command email is how the system sends out your smart plans that are email centric. So we need to make sure that we manage our email. And when we click on the manage button here, what we're presented with is what is the name of the sender? Now it's going to populate with your name as it is logged into the system. But if your name is Catherine and you go by Cat, and that's how you introduce yourself, and that's how you kind of interact with most of your contacts, and you want the emails to say Cat as opposed to Catherine, you can change what it says here, and this is going to change the sender's name. This email is coming from Cat, not Catherine. So you can kind of make it personal here. This is not a legal thing where we're not talking about documents and signatures and stuff like that. We're talking about your communications with your databases. So if you want to be considered Cat, then you would use that name here. Same with me. My full name is Robert Vincent. I don't go by Bob. I don't go by any of those shortened names. So I'm going to leave my full name here. But if I, went by a different name, I could change that to reflect it here. Okay, the next thing down here is the reply to email. Now, what this means is when somebody receives an email from a SmartPlan, there's going to be a reply option, right? So reply to this email. Well, this is the email that they will be replying to. So when you look at this dropdown, you have your KW email, which is going to be in here. By the way, if your KW email is not listed here, you need to reach out to me. All right. You need to reach out to me because we need to make sure that you, have a KW email. Even if you don't use it on your day-to-day communications, you still need to have a KW email within the system because there's a lot of tools, like for example, that I use that need that domain, that @KW domain, so that we can contact you correctly. You could have it forwarded elsewhere. We could talk about all the ins and outs of it, but you need a KW email even if you don't use it as your daily email, okay? If you don't see it, contact me. My primary email from the KW white pages is my KW CLM. This is the email that I want this reply to come to. There is also here the Keller Williams email. There's the recovery email. There is a marketing profile email, which could be different. And then we have add a custom email where we can specify that we want all of the replies to go to a special email that's different from anything above. The point here is so that when somebody receives your SmartPlan emails, when they hit reply, it goes to the email address that you want it to go to. And that's what you select here. All right, now down below a little bit is the monthly usage. This is details about the way that you're using your 5,000 per month free emails from Command. Now, if you're a large organization, large team, or an agent with a lot of marketing going on, you may need more than 5,000. You can see here I'm only using 44 and it's the 19th of the month, 16th of the month. I'm not using a lot, but this gives you kind of an idea of where you're at. If you need more emails per month through the Command system, you can purchase them by using the Manage subscription down here at the bottom. Otherwise, if everything's all set, you can go ahead and close this particular dialog box out and you're good to go. If you did make changes, make sure you hit the Save Changes button. So now that's your Command email. Now that needs to be set up before we go and start doing any SmartPlans. The next thing we're going to look at is we're going to stay here in the settings area to go over this because we want to kind of access it from here, but that is the marketing profile. The marketing profile. This is one of the things that you needed to get set up very early when you started using Command. And what we did before, if you haven't done it already, is we went over here on the left-hand side to the Connect settings. And let me just kind of recenter you where you're at. We went to the profile icon on the top right-hand corner and we chose Settings. And from the Settings area, now we're talking about the Connect settings here on the left and the Marketing Profile. This marketing profile needs to be filled out because the information that's on this page is used to populate areas of the SmartPlan, areas of the designs that are used in the SmartPlan, a lot of different things. It's the basic information about you that is used in all of the areas of marketing in Command. Now, that doesn't mean that everything on this page is used in every single area of every marketing tool available. It just means that this area is where all of that data is stored, and where it's necessary, it's pulled through. For example, your website uses this information. Your designs that are using your branded information come from here. Your emails, all of that comes from here. So we need to make sure that this is completely filled out. Let me give you the 10-cent tour here. If you have not gone through your marketing profile, we do have classes specifically on the profiles, the 3 different major profiles that we create within Command and our ecosystem. But I'm just going to give you a 10-cent tour here. Number 1, we need a photo, a headshot. The headshot needs to be smaller than a megabyte. It needs to be in a JPEG or a PNG format for you nerds out there, Joint Photographic Experts Group, or Portable Network Graphic. Brooke, if you're watching. And then it also needs to be square. Although it does say it needs to be 360 by 360 pixels here, basically just make it square and it will fit comfortably in here and it will not squash it or make it all goofy. A square image. The same thing applies if you are on a team. Obtain the team logo and put the team logo in here for your marketing purposes. If you're on a team. I say that because you don't want to put something in here if you don't have a team logo. Don't touch it, because you won't be able to take it out. You'll end up having this image in here that you can't remove. Same rules apply. 1 megabyte, 360 by 360 JPEG or PNG. Down here in the details, anything that's starred we need. So first name, last name, we need it. Put your license number in here, your professional job title, your designations. If you're a realtor, you can go ahead and put your realtor in here, and you can put the little the realtor registered symbol here. And by the way, realtor comes with that little registered trademark. If you're curious of how I created that little R there to show up, if you're on a Mac, and that's what I'm on here, the Option key and the letter R, so Option R, creates that little registered logo there. Okay. Next up is your affiliations for your military. This is a brand new tool. It is not being currently used in any of the marketing elements, but if you do have that information, fill it out. Your bio. This is the warm fuzzy bio that will be facing the public. So you want to make sure that this is filled out and make it so that it's really talking to your consumers or potential consumers. Of course, your phone numbers and your contact information down here for your emails, and then down in your market center brokerage information. This information you can get from your market center for the office that you're working at, so you can feel free to grab that. Compliance down here, I've got each office is independently owned and operated. Please check with your market center about the exact legal footer text. Even though you see some here, do not rely on me. I am just the technical trainer. I am not the spokesperson for any compliance or legal statements, so make sure you check with compliance. Down a little bit further here, we have a legal footer image. We don't use that in New England. You have the option for social media accounts. If you do, make sure that you remember these are your business accounts for those variety of things down here. And if you are using Google Analytics ID, you can place that in here as well. At the end of the day, make sure you hit save to store all of that information. Otherwise, it will all go away. Well, go away, but it won't store what you've changed. So that is your marketing profile. Again, we need that to be completely filled out in order to do SmartPlan. So I'm talking about all these little things right here, but remember, at the end of the day, what we're specifically saying is we need to make sure that we have these elements in place. So the first thing we talked about was your command email, a little recap. Then we're marketing profile. The next thing up here is how do we target people in our command contact database. And so what we're going to do is talk about structure so that we can target people. And that is by going to our contacts area, and we're going to talk briefly about tags. The smart plans use tags as the method to pull in people to the smart plan. Okay. So when we tag a contact in our database with a specific tag, any tag, we can use the tags that we have created and assigned to the contacts as a way to pull them into the SmartPlan. Now, tags can be created at the individual level. We can also bulk tag people. And we have a class that was just recently completed. If you're on the YouTube channel, which is kwtechtube.com, and as a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and bring that up because I want you to see that. And it is going to be not TechTube, KWTechTube, kwtechtube.com. And here it is. This is the kwtechtube.com site. And by the way, hey, we're live right now on YouTube. There it is. There's proof. We're live. In the Command 101 playlist, we just completed on 9/14 Command 101 organizing and tagging your contacts. So if you head on over to kwtechtube.com and you look for this one here, Command 101 organizing and tagging your contacts, that is the most recent version of that discussion. So that discussion will show you how they work, how to organize them, how to create a really smart system for your tags. Having said all of that and leaving that off on the side, we use those tags in the SmartPlan by saying, for example, I want all the people in Maine, using the tag Maine, to be added to my SmartPlans that have to do with Maine. Same with maybe New Hampshire, or maybe I'm focusing on the Wells area. The whole thing is to organize those contacts so that we can use that organization to target our SmartPlans. Now, I'm going to take it one step further here so that you can understand something that is really cool that's happening inside of SmartPlans. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to open up the SmartPlans in a separate window for a moment. And I'm going to go ahead and again create a little, actually I can use this one because I already have it here. So I'll go ahead and create this little guy. Okay, so in our SmartPlan, without adding anything into it here, again, we're talking about the fundamentals here. There's a step at the top here that says add steps and save, then pick a trigger. So I'll do this. I'll do it really, really simple. I'll create a task in here. So I'll click on create task, and the task is going to be to do. All right, just real simple. Just give myself a little task, and then I'll say call. I'll put a little space here, and I'll say call first name. Okay, and then I'll say after that, and I'll put in the phone number. Oh, great. Actually, I should have used a call task for this, but you get the idea. Okay, so my task is to call somebody based on some way of getting to know that they're in the SmartPlan. What trigger would put this into the SmartPlan, right? Put my contact in the SmartPlan. This now says add trigger at the top. When we click this, it says, all right, your contacts, by using contact tags, you can select the tag that we're going to use as the trigger to enroll this contact into a SmartPlan. Okay, very simple. So if I come down here and say, okay, maybe I wanted to call all the people who have a Gmail, and I've tagged them accordingly, a Gmail tag, so I can choose custom trigger. All right, now, I'm going to give you this here, and I do this about 3 or 4 times throughout the process of any SmartPlan discussions that we have. A SmartPlan can be set up to use a trigger. A trigger in what we've just created is what's called a going forward trigger. That means that if I have 100 people in my database and they all have this Gmail tag right now, before I even create this SmartPlan, these people that already have the tag, that are already in my database, will not be added to the SmartPlan because they already have it. The going forward trigger means that anybody new that I add to my database and I add that new tag, that will trigger the SmartPlan to go and do its thing. The reason that we do this is because of leads. If I have a Facebook campaign that I'm running and I get 20 leads from that Facebook campaign, I can create a tag that says, as soon as I get these leads from Facebook, I want you to tag them with a Facebook tag for the property or for the specific event that I ran the Facebook ad. So tag them with the Facebook's ad's name. When that happens, they are brought automatically into your database. They're automatically tagged. And then that automatically, because it's a new tag on a new contact, will trigger this smart plan. And in the case of a Facebook ad, maybe that smart plan is very simply that you're going to send out a welcome email saying, thanks for clicking on my ad. I'd love to talk to you about the property XYZ. What's the best time to reach out to you? Tuesday at 2 or Thursday at 5. I look forward to speaking with you, Robert Vincent. You are immediately able to market to these people as soon as they come into your database. That's what we call a trigger tag. It's looking and scanning for new contacts that have these tags, and it brings them in. So that's what's called a going forward tag. Okay. If we want to do that, then we would confirm trigger. And so anybody that's added to the database that has that trigger, they'll get this smart plan. But you're thinking, well, what about all the people that are already in my database that already have that trigger, that tag? How do I get them to receive this smart plan? No problem. The trigger is a going forward trigger. Piece of cake. Up in here in the right-hand corner, there is an add contact button. And by the way, this is one of many places where we can add existing contacts to our database. And we can still use tags to do it, but these are not going forward tags. This is looking back and saying who has it already in the database. And that's what this is for. So Gmail, there's all my people with Gmails, and I can select this. Now, of course, I don't want to do that. So we can bring in people that are already in our database. No problem. We can bring in people that are brand new to the database that are automatically being tagged in a certain way and have that happen. Very, very cool. So tags are how we organize our contacts, both ones that we have and ones that are coming in through lead sources. Those tags can be used as triggers in Command's smart plans to automatically engage people in a smart plan, or manually we can do it. All right. So all of that aside, all of that information that we have now, let's go back to the contacts one more time. What you need to remember is that the contacts in your database are the people that are eligible for the smart plans. Even if that contact is just coming in today through a lead source, it's brand new. All of your contacts are who we're talking about. We're not talking about anybody outside of your database. So if you do not have contacts in your database, then you're basically not running smart plans because there's nobody to talk to. So we want to make sure that your contact database is robust. It has your sphere of influence. It has all of your leads, your unmets, all of your contacts, your mets, everything. I have 971 people. I'm pretty small in terms of the database size here with volume. A lot of agents that I know are working with thousands of different contacts in their database. But organizing those contacts, tagging those contacts, and managing them, both importing them and from an Excel spreadsheet or bringing them in from other lead sources. They need to be here in order for this to work. So for you new agents out there who are looking at an empty database and you're saying, should I be doing smart plans? The answer to should you is, yeah, you should be. But can you? No, because a smart plan of one, you might as well just send out the email and say, hey, there's something going on this weekend, Bill, and let's go ahead and talk about it. So smart plans are best used when you have multiple people in your database, separated out by different tags, or you can do it to your entire database. There's nothing that says you can't send out a smart plan to your entire database using tags or whatever. And that those contacts are going to be added to your smart plan. Okay. So we need to have those primary things. We need to set up our command email to make sure the replies are working correctly. We need to make sure that our marketing profile is as complete as possible so that all of the information that we use in our smart plan is accurate and up to date and reflects, the best way to contact us. Then we use contacts and contact tags to organize our database so that we can attack that database in the best way possible to make sure that we are reaching out to everyone. Okay. So with those foundational things in place, we can begin the process of creating the smart plan. Now, you might think that by saying that, I'm going to come over here to the Smart Plan area and click Create New Smart Plan and build my Smart Plan. Absolutely not. We're not going to build the Smart Plan until we have a plan for the Smart Plan. And so what I'm saying to you in no uncertain terms is don't just dive into the deep end of Smart Plans without a project plan. What is the purpose of the Smart Plan? And have you built all of the elements of the Smart Plan so that it functions, reaches people, and gives the message that you want to give to the right people? So what do we do? So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the prerequisites before you come to this page so that we can have a proper Smart Plan built. Where does the Smart Plan start? Well, it starts in your head with an idea. And the idea is very simply, what is my message? Or what is my target audience? What am I trying to say? The what of this entire thing, your message or your audience. Those are the things that you need to consider first. For example, when we create a Smart Plan, we can create, the list is endless, literally endless on the kind of Smart Plan you can make. What is the purpose of the Smart Plan? What is your purpose? Is the purpose brand awareness? Am I reaching out to the people in my database to let them know that I'm a new agent or an existing agent, that I've moved to a new team or I've joined a team from being solo before? What is the message that I want to send? What is the purpose? So I need to come up with an idea of what this is. So maybe it's going to be something as simple as an email that goes out to all of my contacts and says, hey, I wanted to update you and let you know that I'm now doing this, this, and this. There's your message. Okay, great. Well, what if your message is for an open house coming up and you want to promote an open house to everyone in your database? Great. But would you want us to promote an open house to everyone in your database if your database includes people in Florida, but the open house is in New Hampshire? Probably not. Well, you can use tags to filter down your database so that you're reaching the right people. But the message about the open house needs to be drawn up. We need to write it out. We need to script it. We need to create the designs, the graphics, bring in the landing pages. We need to do a lot of things to make sure that we make it an appealing marketing statement for people that are going to attend. We need to encourage them to do this. Now, I am not a marketing person. I am a technical person. I'm the mechanic. All right, I'm the mechanic who gets the Ferrari to run, not the guy who paints it with the flames and puts the numbers on the outside where people go, ooh, look at the pretty car. That is something where the marketing aspect of it is the creative side, ooh, how do I attract these people? Now, Alana Babineau, our marketing guru here at the Market Center in Portsmouth, she can help you out with not only the concepts, but also building those ads. You can also do them yourself inside of Command if you're kind of handy with graphic design and thoughts of marketing and things like that. You can also reach externally. Maybe you have somebody outside that does graphic designs for you or marketing designs for you. You can use online tools like Canva. You can use Photoshop. You can use Illustrator. You can use anything you want to create the marketing material. All right. But that has to happen before we build the Smart Plan. So I'm sitting here on this little Smart Plan page. Haven't touched a button yet because I haven't developed the plan yet, the idea behind it. So there's two I've given you: brand awareness and marketing and open house. Well, maybe you have a listing, and that listing is not necessarily an open house, but you just want to promote the listing. You can do that here as well. But that's part of also, who do I market this to? Am I marketing to my entire database? Am I filtering down? So you're going to create yourself a little outline. The marketing plan, what is it? Who am I reaching out to? What is the message, I should say? Who am I reaching out to? My audience, number two. Number 3, what is the content? Develop that content. Develop it in terms of graphic design, whether that be, wordsmithing it into a nice email body with no graphics, or wordsmithing it and also adding graphics, or just having graphics. So all of those things play into it, and that's completely up to you, totally yours to decide. Then once those elements are done and established, then we can start to say, okay, how am I going to do this marketing? Do I want to touch one time to my client database? Do I want to reach out to them via text message, and then from the text message follow that up with an email, or vice versa? What is the order of things that I want to do with this marketing plan? So maybe I'll reach out via email first and check in with them another day later to remind them that the open house is in 2 days. And then on the morning of the open house, send out another text message that says, hey, don't forget to come visit the open house, with Google directions inside the text message. How cool is that? Follow it up after the open house saying, I hope you had a chance to come visit the open house. If you didn't, there's another one coming up next week. If you did, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, blah, blah, blah. I mean, come on, there's these multi-touch tools of a SmartPlan can take, I'm using an open house as an example, but it can take it from start to finish just from working with the plan, building that plan. Okay. So I noticed that I've got a couple people in the room here. If you are still engaging with me here and you have any questions, please feel free to pop those questions in either on YouTube if you're watching live there, or on Facebook. I am looking right now to see if we've got anybody, and looks like we got a few people here and there. Oh, look at that. I'm digging this. We got a couple of people on the, I can see this. I can't see you, but I can see these things here. We got a couple of people on the YouTube channel and a few people on the KW Facebook group. So thank you for joining. All right. So now with those elements completed, then you can begin to create your SmartPlan, the building of the SmartPlan. And let me tell you something. The SmartPlan itself is fairly easy to build. It's really not hard at all. And I'm staring at this and I just realized that I forgot one of the fundamental things about the SmartPlan that need to be in place before you click the create button. And I've talked about it a dozen times, but I never brought it to your attention in the settings area. For those of you watching, can you guess what I left out that I've been harping on? Going to the settings area, I'll click on settings and I'll go down to the bottom of the screen. I forgot to mention setting up your Twilio. The Twilio account is the texting tool inside of Command that you can use to send these text messages out. Twilio is a third-party service. It is an integration into Command, and it is something where you pay for per month. And I think the rate that what I pay per month, because I've signed up for Twilio, is about $3 and change per month. And it gives me 300 or 600 text credits per month. And they do roll over. I think they expire at the end of I don't think it's the calendar year, but I think it's your contract year. But they do expire. Your rollovers expire. And then you still have your monthly, but they accrue. And I've got a couple thousand text messages that have rolled over on my 300 per month plan. But to set that up, when you come down here, mine is already set up, but when you set it up, you can come down to Twilio here and you can click on connect, and you can connect your Twilio account. Now, when you connect your Twilio account, you're going to have to set up your credit card and stuff like that. There is also an option when you set up your Twilio account to have calls. Let me explain it this way. It's a call forwarding, but let me explain how it works. So you send out a text message in a SmartPlan, and it goes out to 700 people, right? And one of those people picks up their phone and they look at the text message and they say, hey, open house this weekend. For more information, click on this, or call me. And they hit call back. When they call back, you can set up a phone number forwarding to your phone rather than the Twilio phone number, which is the number that the information is going to be coming from. So when they call you back, it will be forwarded to your physical phone. You can set that up. I recommend that because that way when they click and call it back, it'll show up as you and show your phone number and everything. So Twilio getting set up there. So we have a question, Cindy. Is there a way to look at the tags that you already have in place to review and make changes to them all at once? Yes, Cindy, that is a fantastic question. Let me take a detour to show you that because I love the question here in the classroom. So in my contact database, I've got 971 people and I've got tags all over the place. Now, where do I manage these tags? Okay. If you go up to your settings, your profile icon here, and you go down to settings, in the settings area on the left-hand side, not in the integrations that we were just looking at for the Twilio, but on the left-hand side, there's the command settings section. And in that command settings section under contacts, which is where your contact tags are, you can review and manage your contact tags. So my section here, I have 59 tags in my database that I have created, and that not all of these 59 may be in use right now, but I do have 59 tags that I've created. And you can use these this page here to modify existing tags, both the name and the color coding for the category there. One of the things you have to be aware of, though, is if you want to delete a tag from this screen, you need to make sure that that tag is not in use on a contact, that no contact in your database has that tag. And that's a fairly easy thing to do, but you just need to remember that editing here may require you to bounce back over to your contacts to remove that. Now, you can edit them color and content for what they say and where the color is without having to worry about, unassigning them. It will just update all of your tags and your contacts. Now, because of that's such a great question, remember that you can not only see all of your contacts here, you can go through all of them here, you can modify them, and in some cases delete them if they're not being used. But they just added a cool feature which ties in almost as if I had scripted this. A lot of people, when they first start using tags, they're kind of willy-nilly. Let's just face it. You throw stuff in there and you think, oh, that's a great tag, I'll use that. And later on, you start to understand the power of the tags. And you're like, you know what? My tags are a mess. We can now use the bulk action tool when I select multiple people on the contacts homepage. I can click and select multiple contacts, and using the bulk action drop down here, I can add bulk tags and I can remove bulk tags from this. So I can assign tags and remove tags en masse from the front screen. So if I wanted to clean up my database, I can absolutely do that. If you're looking for more information, specifically Cindy, on that one here, remember on the YouTube channel that we have here, which is our KW Tech Tube, there is specifically a class that I've got recorded here for you for organizing and tagging your contacts. And this class covers what I just discussed there in a little bit more detail. So hopefully that will help you out. Okay. Awesome. All right. So that's some ways to think about making sure that you're ready to start building your smart plans. I encourage you a million times over to make sure that you set up a mental plan or even draw it out in Google Docs as to what is the purpose. Now, I know that Alana in marketing, when she works with people to create smart plans, she's going to ask you, what's your message? What's your audience? What's your time frame? When do you want this thing to start? How many times do you want to reach out to your contacts in your database? What is the criteria for the people in your database that you want to reach out to? Tags. Or have we set that up? Have we tagged the people in your database appropriately? Do we have enough information about the people in your database to effectively target them? If you make a little map of that, and you build it out so that you're filling it out as a form. In Google Docs, for example, you could have a pre-built form for marketing as an open house, marketing a listing, marketing a training event, marketing this, marketing whatever it is, and you can build this out. You could even do a yearly holiday schedule. What holidays do you want to send out a smart plan for every holiday in the year that you choose. And you can specify the distances between them, the dates and all that. You can do a lot of things with smart plans. Now that we've covered the foundations of that, I'm going to stop here because everything that I've covered so far is all about the getting ready to do the smart plan. In the next time we get together with which we call the Smart Plan workshop, where we're going to actually build a smart plan, I'm going to show you how we can use some built-in smart plans that you don't really have to do much at all to engage your audience and to engage your contacts. Hint, this is going to be talking about neighborhood nurture smart plans, birthday smart plans, and home anniversary smart plans. Pre-built smart plans for you that you can just use today and start smart plan marketing to your database. Everybody in them or selectively. So I want you to think about this, and if you're interested, please feel free to reach out to me, and we can talk about those nurture plans, the birthday plans, the anniversary plans, and how to get those going. But in the next class, not today, but the next time we get together for the smart plans, it will be a workshop, and we're going to talk about how do we build one, how do we implement it, how do we run it. Okay. If you have any questions for me and you want to reach out, please feel free to reach out to robert.vincent@kwclm.com. That is my direct email. If you want to book time on my calendar, so for some one-on-one session time where we can go over your specific needs with smart plans or anything else, you can go to timewithrobert.com. My Zoom room when we meet is for the one-on-one meetings is kwtechtv.com. You can go view any of the classes, including this one, on YouTube at kwtechtube.com. And if you look on each of those playlists that are in there, you can just view the playlist, pick a topic. Remember, the Command 101s are sequential. This is a Command 101 class. So keep that in mind. You can go anytime right after we finish this class and rewatch this one at kwtechtube.com. We also put these Facebook streams up. So if you are watching on Facebook, it's in our KWCLM group, which is where we are right now. The KWCLM is great, but it's a little hard to find some of the pre-recorded or recorded material that's already done. So that's why I suggest sending you over to kwtechtube.com. And I'm kind of proud of this. I think that we've done a good job of creating a good structure for you guys on the KW Tech Tube. And so if I go back over here and go to my channel for the KW Tech Tube, you can see that we've built it so that the Command 101 classes are all here. And then we also have the Command Select classes, which are the kind of I won't say the advanced, but they're kind of 201s. And those are all the different things that we have here. All of the Quick Start Mornings ones that I've done, and then the live streams, which includes this one. And here's where we are live right now. I could go into an infinity mode and show that to you, but I'm not going to do it. Okay, that's it for now. I hope you guys have an awesome day. At 2 o'clock today, we're going to be going over the next class, which is going to be the KW Consumer App. Now, the KW Consumer App is the downloadable app that we have. I'll go ahead and go back to this one here. The downloadable app from KW that anybody can download on their iPhone or on the Android phone or whatever. And we're going to show you how cool that thing is. So that's 2 o'clock today, right here, same place, also on kwtechtube.com. Have an awesome day. So